You know, life throws things at you, and it's your purpose to overcome the obstacles that life puts in your way. And like Joel eating string cheese right now. It's
And
an
apparently not fucking able to do so.
it's an obstacle for him. Hey, everybody. Big apologies for the delay in episodes. I was gone. I was gone for over a week. I was not at home. Joe
Hold on.
Cupcake.
Calvin's
What?
wife dragged him to Hawaii, and he's
Hey.
acting like I was gone.
Listen, okay. Not only was I in Hawaii, but I was in the desert as well, so it wasn't as good as it sounds.
Yeah, sorry, you're a fucking what's that old classic rock song? Sorry, you're a fucking traveling, rambling man, whatever the fuck it is.
I don't know what it is, but I don't want to say it. So, so yeah, I was gone for over a week. Joe Cupcake was uprooting his life and moving, and so
in a
he
new
was doing
location.
that. New location.
I finally have an office to myself.
Hey yo.
Well,
And
it's also Trina does her makeup in here too, but that's not the point.
That's not the point. The point
and
is
I had two weddings, Calvin. Don't forget.
And you had two weddings. So we were very busy. Big apologies to everybody. Sorry about the delay. But it's actually good because now we have some we can talk about some substance for this latest season update.
You're actually going to get 2 episodes from us this week, guys.
Maybe
if you even missed us.
I'm gonna say maybe because fuck Joel. This is Pex Pals, the only Apex Legends podcast for the mediocre gamer. My name is Calvano Manio, and my sexy motherfucker here is Joel Civ Cupcake. Check us out at PexPals.com. Check us out at Pex. Shut up. I'm talking. Check us out at PexPals.com, our website where you can see our latest episodes. You can check out our YouTube. Check us out on Apple Music and Spotify on that website. But we're also on every fucking podcast thing that you can think of. We're there. Check us out on all social media as well at PexPals Podcast. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But it's mostly Instagram and kind of TikTok too.
I mean, you're the one that does the TikTok. If you've been using it, promote it, my dude.
I have not. So
I'm too old to understand.
But I have an idea for a funny TikTok, and I'm thinking about doing it. I gotta do it. I just gotta do it.
I mean, do it.
But anyway, be sure to leave us a rating and leave us a review, and that will make sure other people can wait a very long time for our next episode, just like you all.
Got him.
First and foremost, before we get into this episode, Joel Civ Cupcake. I don't know how much you've been playing, but what is your weapon of the week?
I had some time to play in between weddings, and I had some time to play before and after and post move. I couldn't sleep last night. You know, when you're in a new space and it kind of like everything's a little different, the energy's different. Also, our fucking heater's not working.
Oh, that's lame.
And so like I'm like literally I was walking around wearing 3 layers all day yesterday. So like I took a shower when I got home from work and couldn't sleep. So I was actually up till 3 a.m. playing Apex like a really responsible adult. Anyways, not the point. Basically, Calvin, my weapon of the fucking week, it's back, baby. I found my mojo, Calvin.
Okay, let's hear it.
I fucking found it. The Havoc, dude.
The Havoc.
So hear me out though. There's a stipulation. It's the reverse of our regular stipulation though, Calvin.
Okay.
It's the Havoc without the turbocharger.
Havoc without.
So even though it's only a 1 damage difference with the turbocharger, like it got nerfed a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though it's only 1, that is significant enough for me to be overconfident.
Really?
Yes. So, but the Havoc with the hip fire, for some reason, every day my daily is to play Mirage. Like literally, I've only played like 4 days this season, and every day the daily has been playing Mirage.
That's very funny.
So, I mean, dude, my favorite thing is you sprint into a room, you pop the Mirage, ultimate, and then you just run at the closest dude with the Havoc firing, and they die every single time.
That's true. Single time. That is fact.
So, but then when I get the turbo, I'm like, oh, I got the turbo, I'm equipped, I'm ready to fuck, and then like lose the fight every single time to like a fucking flatline, like not an R3, not like a Devo, not something with a high rate of fire, just a fucking flatline.
Hey, see, you know what? There is something to that though. and it's because when you have the Havoc without the turbo, you anticipate the charge up, right? And it gets you ready. When you have the turbo, you just shoot. It's like, it's everywhere. It's like pissing in the morning, right? It's just fucking everywhere. But without the turbo, you're like, oh, okay, the piss is coming, and then you prepare. You get ready. You're there for it. So yeah, I follow your assessment here.
Yeah, I mean we've been gone for 2 weeks, so I really got to say the other gun is like fucking the EVA 8, bro. Like that thing is just the Mastiff does feel good. I have been using it. I haven't been neglecting it in typical Joel fashion.
Yeah.
But the EVA 8 is just like fucking man, that's my girl. Or my boy.
I love that.
It's the milk to my cookies.
That fucks. I like that. That.
What about you? I have a feeling it's a medium to long range weapon, knowing you. I wouldn't be surprised if you're back on your Sentinel bullshit. But you might not be. I could see you choosing like the G7, maybe throwing like a wild card and like the Hemi single fire with the 3 times. Like, am I close at all?
You're close. You're very close. So I'm gonna do 2 just because you did 2.
Okay. Do it.
My first weapon of the week is actually, like you said, the Sentinel. It is absolutely the Sentinel.
God, you're so cute. I love when I'm right, dude.
The Sentinel's my gun, dude. It's my gun. And I know Kodiak's feels the same way about the Sentinel that I do. Listen, everybody, don't fear the Sentinel close range. Close range, it's just the shotgun. Just put him in the reticle, pull the trigger. It's actually way more accurate than you think, and it does 70 damage, like a sure thing 70 damage. And so what's great about that is it does anywhere in the body pretty much, essentially. Well, no, that's not true. Legs and arms does less damage, but the 70 damage is huge. Headshot is huge. So if you get that close range headshot, you're smoking people. Sentinel's great. And with the new map, Broken Moon, it's fucking big fights everywhere. The Sentinel, dude, it just rips, man. I'm not a longbow fan. Charge rifle's fun, but the Sentinel is my boy, my baby boy.
You know, it's funny because they buffed the triple take, and as we know, Colton's like, that's his fucking gets his dick hard. You know what I mean? Even more so than like your hair or your voice, Calvin, which is really strange to me. But you know what I mean? Like, and I used it and it is better, but like I'm actually a Sentinel person these days as well.
Love it.
Like the longbow is just like, why pick up the longbow when you can pick up the G7?
True. And,
you know what I mean?
That leads me to my next gun, which is the G7 Scout. G7 Scout.
Fuck yeah, baby. Fuck yeah.
It's mostly because of this map. I don't have close range fights. I don't have them. They're all mid to like long. And so it's just like, of course there are close range when you close to the end or you get jumped on, in a fight in a building, because this map is like 3rd, 5th party central. But it's like you gotta get those mid to long range games. You gotta get people out of the game. And if you see them far away, shoot them. And the best guns to do it are snipers and the marksman guns. And the G7, it's just that gun, dude. It's just that fucking gun. For some reason, I find lightweight. I've been finding the G7 way more than the 30-30, and especially the 30-30. I'm not finding Skull Piercer, so it's just like 30-30 is great without it, but Skull Piercer makes it better. G7.
Yeah. I mean, I think, dude, I'm with it. Like, I don't even touch the R3 right now, and like you said, with the whole the long range fights or whatever. I mean, dude, it's the game. It's funny because I think last season I said my loadout was kind of like Volt EVA 8 or G7 EVA 8. I mean, I just run G7 EVA 8 or like Sentinel EVA 8 or Triple Take EVA 8, or I go in my psychopath mode and do like double energy, which You guys you're like the only person that doesn't judge me for it. All the rest of our friends are like, why the fuck do you do that, Joel? But then I do it with you, and I just run out and fucking poop on everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I fucking love it, man. But I love that you chose the G7. We're in pretty good sync this episode, this week, Calvin.
I think so.
I'm loving it. I think so. Yeah, and we're gonna touch on the patch notes. Obviously, we're making up for some lost time, but as you mentioned, dude, Broken Moon, the building fights are great and the outdoor fights are great. There's not an excess of either. I'm loving it, but I love what you said with the G7 is literally the perfect gun right now.
Yeah, it's great.
I barely touched the Volt, barely, which is insane for me. Insane for me.
So that brings us to our next little segment here. Season 15, Eclipse. Now, I have something to say to you, Joe Cupcake. So for those who are avid listeners of the show, knows that Joe Cupcake is our source of leaks and information and, new information to come. I'm going to stop fucking listening to you whenever you give a new piece of information, right? Because one, we got the name of the planet wrong, right? It's called Broken Moon, right? We called it something else. I forget the fuck we called it. Number one. Stellar. Number one. Number two, she doesn't build blocks like Fortnite, son of a bitch. So
that was changed very last minute.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
And also, the person that leaked that information has been right about every other thing we've talked about on the show.
I don't give a shit. I am never.
I'm a fucking piece of shit, Calvin. Continue on.
Never
your point.
Repeating any information from any leak person. You're gonna say, and then you're gonna be the one with pie on your face. So,
wait, hold on. Really important question. What kind of pie?
Apple.
Apple. Okay. What about chocolate?
Chocolate's cool, but apple pie, dude. Apple pie is the best pie. Apple pie is the best pie. Apple pie is the best pie, Joe Cupcake.
I mean, I'm a chocolate guy through and through.
Oh my god. Anyway, season 15, Eclipse has been with us for 2 weeks now? A week?
Yeah.
2 weeks now, and we got a brand new map called Broken Moon. It is fucking huge. It looks great. And it's kind of interesting. We'll talk about it when we get there. But we also got a brand new character named Catalyst. Catalyst is a new fortified type of character. She has really cool abilities and a really cool ultimate. And there's been a lot of talk about her viability when it comes to the game, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But first, Broken Moon. Broken Moon is the brand new map based off the lore from the Catalyst's character. It's this huge map. It's very Olympus reminiscent, where there's a lot of tall structures with buildings around it. Like people are still doing work on it. It's very like a industrialized type of map, I would say. So the unique thing about this map is not just its size, but is the modes of transportation of the map. There's no car. There's no jump rope or jump balloon, jump tower. I don't know what the fuck it's called. There's no portals. There's no launches. There is a rail system.
There is one jump tower on the whole map.
There is. Oh, there is.
It's very well hidden, but there's one, just like Storm Point.
Correct.
But yes, continue.
Yeah. There is one jump tower, and it's a very long rope, and it throws you out. But majority of the transit is either by foot or by the brand new rail system. The rail system is cool. It's these on the map that look like red lines, and it's kind of just like I said, a rail system. You hop on it. And it takes you very fast to the next location. There's also parts in between, like in the middle of these rail systems, where you can hit a jump, and the jump will take you up to the rail system. You can't launch off the jump like octane launch pad. It just throws you
Yeah.
straight up. So it throws you straight up. You grab the rope and you slide. I think that's great. I think the map is good. But Joel Cookwick, what are your first initial thoughts of the map so far?
Rail system is the fucking best goddamn thing they've added to the game.
It's pretty good.
I went on a fucking tirade about how much I fucking love tridents, and I thought they were badass. It was an interesting mechanic that they couldn't be destroyed. They were a great way to move other than the noise. I still think to this day they're underutilized, but especially with the fact that you can actually throw like a Gibby bubble or a heat shield on it.
I was going to say that. I think the reason why they're underutilized is because the characters who are able to make the most out of the Triton, people aren't playing so much.
No.
Like Lifeline and Gibby and Caustic for that matter.
Well, also, if you could put, we've said it like I think in 3 different episodes, there's zero reason why you can't put a Watson pylon on the Trident.
Right.
Zero reason. If
Absolutely.
you could do that, I think you would see a large uptick in the usage of that vehicle.
Probably like Rampart, Watson Trident or Watson pylon. Like there's those characters. There's a lot of characters that can use a Triton, but people aren't playing those characters.
Correct.
And so yeah. So anyways, go ahead.
But yeah. The rail system is great. It's not too loud, but it's loud enough you can hear it. I love that there's like little tiny tweaks where you do build velocity. I love that you can shoot off. The map, you can't die. You can't die. You cannot jump off the edge of the map. It shoots you back up like the lava area in World's Edge. The guy that helped build World's Edge is the guy who built this map. That's why it has that feel. All the laboratories and stuff. It's Hammond trying to terraform the moon to save it.
Right.
Sorry. It's headline. It's
you okay over there, dude?
Yeah. I fucking just had a brain fart. My bad. But I just like fucking was like, I like literally I blinked and looked at you and like my brain just skipped.
I know I'm stunning.
You really are, Calvin. That's really the issue. But yeah, fucking rail system is great.
Yep.
You can't die on the edges. I love it. It has a lot of the same. It's like the size of Stormpoint, but it's World's Edge and Olympus smashed together. And that's what I think I love about it. Like this map, and I think the main thing I'm noticing, and everyone's agreeing with me, is you don't have to look for a fight.
Yes.
Like it's very hard to spend time looking for a fight. Like
generally all the fights are like in the same areas so far, right? Everyone's finding their little convergence areas where they fight the most. That big fucking wall in the middle.
Fuck that. I rotate around that every single time now. I will not, because it's always 5 teams there. It's never just 2.
There's always 5 teams there.
But yeah, no. But I mean, what I'm saying is like in Stormpoint, you can go till second to last or final circle without seeing a team.
That's true.
That has, I think that's literally happened to me like maybe like 1 game.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Like on this, like there's just all the loot's pretty evenly distributed. All the POIs are good. There's like cover and escapability from each POI. That's the other thing I think people like seem to not understand. Also, this map has more verticality than any other map. And what I mean is every single building you can go on the roof of.
Yeah.
It's there's not weird out of bounds zones or pseudo out of bounds zones. There's not buildings that are too tall like Olympus.
Right.
There's not like these weird scalable cliff faces like like fucking World's Edge. So I think it's the best built map. Olympus is still my favorite, but this is definitely slid to be number 2, which is crazy because I love World's Edge. But yeah.
Interesting. I'm going to disagree on your last point on this is the best built map. I think personally, the map is too big. I think it's too big. And I know that, a BR is supposed to, I don't know. Like I come from PUBG, right? I wasn't like a diehard PUBG guy, but I come from PUBG, and PUBG had the whole thing where it was like big map and everyone's like spread out and you don't find a fight. No one finds a fight until like much later unless you land on like some of the hot spots. But you would eventually make your way in, and like, I think Black Ops 4 was kind of like that too. Warzone kind of had that feel too. But Apex Legends has always been like not too big of a map, but you're like, we're getting into the shit right now. And so this map kind of, I think it's too big, like I said. And it doesn't lean into what people enjoy about Apex Legends. This map is more like hey, let's kind of look around, hop over these hills. There's so many fucking hills. There's so much verticality, like Joel was saying. And then it's like, are these buildings even safe? And they're not. And then, and I think, what I've also noticed is that people are posting online showing that the rings aren't tailored to not have dead zones where like, oh, I made it to the ring, but now I'm outside the circle, on this wall type of thing.
That actually happened to me last night. The game I was playing at 3 a.m. when I should have been asleep.
Yeah.
That's how it ended. There was 3 teams in the zone with the care package, everything. And then the rest of us, like, it was the second to last ring, you know what I mean? But both edges of the circle were already like eclipse on a cliff. So I think there was 6 squads left, and it was literally 7 squads left. So 4 of us were already stuck out of bounds.
Wow.
And then 3 were it might have even been 2 were inbound. So it was like literally the ring shut. And it's funny because you see all the teams like poking at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was Mirage, and I run out in the middle. I pop my decoy, and I literally just turned and I just shot everyone.
Love that.
And then as the ring closed on us, I threw 2 heat shields on top of each other and started healing. And I got 4 kills because I got credit because I was the last person that shot all 4 of the people. And it was like, my teammate were like, yo, that's like the most big brain thing I've ever seen. He's like, but you didn't get my banner, so fuck you.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, of course. So I just left the fucking lobby. But yeah, they do need to fix the ring closing. Yeah. But other than that,
like, that's what I'm saying. Like the map's so big. See, like Storm Point, it didn't really take long to memorize the map, right? Didn't really take long to memorize Storm Point. You're just like, oh, okay, I get it now, right? It's kind of has a full downhill from the thunder storm top at the whatever the fuck it's called, all the way down, right? It's kind of uphill to downhill type of feel. But this one's just like so many waves, and I'm lost. And like when I play the game and I'm kind of just running around, I don't know what to focus on. And it's kind of like very disorienting. And then I'm getting shot, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where is everybody? It's an interesting map for sure.
And I think they really dropped the ball with there was, we'll go over it in the patch notes, but there was no rank changes other than an entry fee increase.
Yeah.
And I think that's bad because the zip rails deliver you so quickly to places, and everybody's using Catalyst and trying her out. Right. And because they can just run in and reinforce the doors and put traps everywhere. So no one's scared to be hyper aggressive again. And that's really weird because I feel like, especially when it comes to ranked, this game has tried so hard to get away from the hyper aggressiveness for the last like two seasons.
I don't think so. I disagree with that. I mean, case in point, Caustic, they nerfed him so people could be more aggressive. You know what I mean? But speaking of, moving on to the next subject, Catalyst, brand new character Catalyst. She is not a Fortnite character. She does not build a tower. She does not do any of that bullshit that Joel said. In fact, she has different abilities, and the first of her abilities is her passive, Joel just mentioned. It's called Barricade. And what you can do is you can reinforce doors, the open and closed ones, not the slide up and down ones like the big ones. But the regular doors, she can reinforce them with her ferrofluid, and making it harder, or making them take more hits before they break. Now, Fuse's Knuckle Cluster still breaks them. Horizon's ult still breaks them faster than, say, like punching or whatever the hell does.
Maggie's ball still fucks them up.
Like, they're still very vulnerable. They don't provide that much cover. But one of the things that they do is when the doors aren't there, you can still put up like a fluid wall.
You said doo-doo.
doo-doo, is you could put like a fluid wall. So what do you call it? It stops people from just rushing in because if you run through her fluid, it blinds you and I think it slows you down too. But it's handy. But we'll talk about it after I describe all the rest of the things. And then her tactical is called Piercing Spikes, and she throws a ball of the ferrofluid out, and on the ground it leaves a horizontal strip of spiky fluid that does 15 damage a tick. And from what I've seen, I haven't really paying attention to that much, but they don't go away. They kind of just sit there forever.
So her tactical, this character, it's so funny, Calvin, because as a Caustic main, everything people complained about with Caustic, they gave to her. Because her 2 traps will not go away.
Yeah.
And hers don't go away when you die.
Yeah, they're there forever, dude.
As far as Caustics do, because everybody complained and they nerfed him into oblivion. You know what I mean? So, her traps, she gets 2 of them. And then also I wanted to talk about the door reinforcement. So when we say the doors are stronger, Calvin's not lying. It is 4 kicks to open a door.
Yeah.
4. That is enough time to get a Phoenix Kit off behind a door.
Yep.
Which is insane. Also, something I noticed, if you're in the middle of a fight and you down the team, say it's like, a 1v1 and both their teammates are down, if you reinforce the door, their teammates can't open the door. I mean, how many times have we been annoyed by that? The door spam or a down teammate blocking a door. If someone's down, if they're your ally, I believe they can still open it. But if they're your enemy, they can't open your reinforced door.
They can't.
Which I think is fucking incredible.
Which is really strong.
Yeah. And then her little trap thing, I also like that it's not like the mines. Like the mines, you can shoot the top or bottom and it'll go away. The trap, you have to get close to it, and then a red ball pops up in the center, and you have to shoot that ball to get it to go away. You know what I mean? But it slows you and does 15 damage a second or a tick or whatever it is. Like that's like, if you can, I've seen a lot of people that what they're doing is when they get chased, they throw the traps in and throw a grenade. And then it's smart. Just like,
it slows you, and then you're gonna eat a grenade. Yeah.
So I've seen that. Just like when you rush a room, if the team's in the room and they don't see you, and you throw that trap down, like you can do a lot of fucking damage, man.
Yeah.
And then one thing it didn't note on her passive that I think is really important to bring up, and this is how she has the broken passive.
Okay.
Calvin, she doesn't get affected by other catalyst traps.
Right.
Just like Caustic. So she can just walk into a room where there's another catalyst and none of the spike traps will go off.
Yeah. That's great. It's cool.
Onwards to the ult.
And the ultimate is called Dark Veil. And what it is Catalyst in front of her throws it's huge, a giant fucking wall that goes very far. She creates this giant ferrofluid wall that if you walk through it, it's just like the doors. You get slowed and you get partially blinded for a brief time. And it's really good to provide quick cover. It's really good to stop enemies pushing at you. Like who are like just like right on your dick. You can throw up the wall and it slows them down. It doesn't stop them per se, but it slows them down. But a lot of people, and I mentioned this earlier, a lot of people aren't finding Catalyst to be very viable when it in terms of meta and against the current meta. And obviously, I'm talking about Seer. Everybody hates Seer. Even Post Malone hates Seer.
That's why Post is my boy, dude.
Even Post Malone hates Seer. And the reason for this is the ferrofluid. It's one of its perks. What makes it so viable is Bloodhound's scan does not penetrate the ferrofluid, and I don't believe Seer's scan does either.
So she's actually, surprise, they launched the game broken. And so the reason people are complaining is that if they're not paying attention, her ult is actually broken.
Okay.
And it does not block. I don't know if it does. I think it does block Bloodhound, but it does not block Seer the way it's supposed to right now.
Right. So I don't know if actually I don't think it blocks Seer's. I think it blocks Seer's scan. I'm not sure, but it does not block his ultimate.
which is
Seer's
what it's supposed to do.
right. Seer's ultimate does still works. So like say you throw up the wall and then you throw Seer's ultimate right next to the wall, you could still see on the other side of the wall, and you're not supposed to be able to. And I think Crypto's drone, if you put it on the other side of the wall, still works, which I guess kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But so, and that is got people talking about her viability, because you're supposed to put the wall up and be safe, but from Seer, who's a meta character, you're not safe, and you can shoot through the wall. So don't know if that's like something they're gonna make, so that you can't shoot through it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it does slow the bullets down.
So they do reduce damage.
No, but
So then
it's like, but you also, it's not accurate. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, if you could see if you're using Seer's ult, you can definitely see him on the other side,
Well,
and it's 100%
fair.
accurate. I've shot people through the wall. I've killed people through the wall.
oh, so have I.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not viable, like meta wise. And I think I think this map is showing that when there's a third party situation, you have to capitalize.
Yeah, I agree.
And Catalyst is a bunker down character. And she is. And so it's like either you're bunkering down to prepare for people to jump on you, or you jump on a building and then you bunker down. But if you're bunkered down already waiting for people to come, they're not going to, because the map's so big. You got to get to the next circle, and there's already another third party fight going on that they can participate in and not have to worry about Catalyst. So her viability at the moment is kind of up in the air. What are your thoughts, Joe?
She has good survivability. I think Cody and I, the best night I've had so far in the new season is we were actually running Catalyst, Caustic, Loba, taking the slow game and just like the double reinforcement. I mean, you know how when you push away from that, it's called Promenade, that giant annoying fucking wall in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you push away from Promenade, there's the little buildings everywhere. Yeah. I mean, we out-survived, like literally we got chased. They got third part. Like we out-survived 4 teams in one of those tiny buildings, because
love that.
Catalyst can, not only does she reinforce the doors, she can rebuild them.
Yeah, she can.
So like she was doing that, and then I was just throwing mines outside the window. So people were trying to rotate in to throw grenades, getting ticked by my gas, and then we would just run out and fucking collapse. Like we were just doing this over and over. And then in front of the doors on the inside, Cody had his 2 traps going. It was just insane, dude. It was just like nonsense. Like, so I do think for aggressive teams, it's a little different. If you have somebody who used to be a Watson main, I think kind of like the clip I sent to our group chat earlier, Calvin, like mid-fight throwing her wall and using her wall, like ducking back and forth, and like it's very viable to 1v2 or 1v3 if you have like your skill level or higher. True. Like using the wall, because regardless of it not blocking scans, like you still, if you touch the wall, you have that whole like black screen thing.
Yeah.
So I did notice digi threats are pseudo effective.
Okay.
So like if you have the ability to have a gun with a digi threat, grab it, because the Catalyst wall is a lot less intimidating with it. It's still intimidating because you're still moving slow, but like you go through and after like half a second, the digi threat starts glowing red already. You know what I mean? So I found mid-fight, like I keep putting the digi threat on my EV8 because duh. Yeah. And that's been a big help. But
interesting.
You know, I think she will be viable once the ult is fixed. Once the ult is fixed and she blocks Seer the way she's supposed to,
right?
I think a lot of people are going to fuck with that.
Probably.
With her.
Yeah, I mean, she's fun to play. So
yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's just nice to have a defensive legend that's not fortified, and you can be aggressive or defensive with her. As a Caustic main, I love her.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can.
And she has the best fucking skydive emotes, which I know sounds lame to say. You know what I mean? And all her skins are great. Like she like Maggie launched terribly. Not a single good skin. You know what I mean? And Catalyst is already like super badass. You know, I think overall she's getting a thumbs up.
I think she's getting a thumbs up. You know? I think she's great. I think she's great.
And I don't think she needs the adjustment nerf, like everyone's saying, because she was actually literally put in the game as to be another defensive legend and another and a counter. So one of the old devs did do that interview where they said like it sucks adding her because she's more of a specific counter to 3 specific characters, But I think something like that might be a good mix-up. I've been having a blast playing fucking Maggie because Maggie makes Catalyst look like shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a good shakeup.
No, you're right though. Like the only thing in this game that's not countered is Vision. Are the recon characters? They're not countered. Bloodhound's not countered.
Yes.
Seer's definitely not countered.
No.
And Crypto isn't countered in terms of vision, right? I mean, actually, he is because you can shoot his fucking drone. He's the he's the worst of the vision characters. But like the other two, like there's no counter to them. At literally zero. If you're behind a wall, they're going to see you, and especially Seer. So no, they should definitely fix her so that the vision characters have some handicap, something.
And the thing that I think is interesting about the vision debate's always a big debate. I'm seeing a lot of the streamers, both big and little, playing Bang because the smoke is just so hard to see through and so obtrusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe she'll kind of fill that role for some of the old Bang mains. The other thing that I think is interesting is like, remember when Seer came out, his Q did that flash and everybody was like, that's not fair. That's too disorienting. We keep hearing these rumors about freeze grenades and there's no flash grenade. There's no like visual stun move really. And I think that that's strange because we're getting shit that's hard to see through like Bang's gas and formerly Caustic's gas. I will not say that it's hard to see through anymore. If
it's not,
fuck you if you think it is. And then now we have the dark wall, which, and the spikes, so spikes is a movement nerf. The wall is a visual nerf, but why don't we have, I really hope the next character does something with like the vision, like the overload, like the brightness, you know what I mean?
Something
because they're kind of adding a new mechanic with this whole blind thing by going through the veil.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about Broken Moon, and let us know what you think about Catalyst. Do you like the map? Do you like Catalyst? Let us know. Hit us up on all social media accounts. Pex Pals Podcast everywhere. And 2 final things that are new for this season. It's so stupid. We talked about it last time, but gifting. You can now exactly. You can now gift things to your friends in the store. Yay. And then and then stickers. Stickers. You can buy stickers now that go on your heals. So shield cells, shield batteries, syringes, med kits, and Phoenix kits. You can now equip cool, cute little stickers to put on them because it's another thing that they could put into the loot ticks so that you don't get your heirloom shards. Great. But there were a ton of patch notes. So many changes to this latest season. Joel, before we get into all of them, what's your favorite?
My favorite patch note?
Yeah, what's your favorite thing that's been updated?
Oh, Jesus, man. That's tough.
Okay, then. Fuck you. We'll start from the top. Patch notes. They now changed ranked so that the entry requirement, the base level is level 10 to level 20 now. So this is to help decrease the amount of fake or cheating accounts or boosting accounts that people create so people can get their 20 bombs and their 4K. It's like, shut up. Just play the game. That's the first and foremost thing about ranked. But a lot of changes for regular game and ranked. And first and foremost is the crate rotation. The Mastiff is no longer the big poppy shotgun in the crate. It is out.
I'm tapping in.
Say it.
That's my favorite thing about the patch notes.
The Mastiff.
I'm going on record and saying that the care package RE45, which is what replaced the Mastiff. Sorry, I jumped the gun just like by a sentence, Calvin.
Yeah.
The care package RE45 is the best care package weapon since the R99.
Since the R99?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
since the R99 was in the care package, I would rather have this RE45 than the care package Mastiff. Straight up.
Okay. Interesting. So the Mastiff is out of the care package. It had its ammo increased from 4 rounds to 5 rounds. They widened the blast pattern, and they reduced the damage, and the projectile growth has been reduced, and to make it more not such an OP gun like it was in the care package, but in its stead, they grabbed the RE45, they threw it in the care package, they increased the damage from 12 to 14 base damage. And now they put disruptor rounds on it, which do 30% more damage to the shield. So you're melting shields. Oh my God, dude, you're melting shields so fast with the 45, even red shields.
Oh yeah. I think the other night I made a Newcastle rage quit the game.
Good.
Because like, you know how you can tell the people, like when you down them, they just stop moving. It's like they walked away from their controller. Yeah. This Newcastle did his wall on top of me.
Oh.
He had red shields. I had blue, and I turned with RE45, and I just like, he didn't even have time to pull his gun up from dropping his wall. And I just fucking fried that motherfucker. And he just like stood there and just stopped moving. Like it was hilarious.
Dude, yes. The 45 is nuts right now. So that's huge. Try it out, the 45. If you see it, try it out. Different gold weapon rotations. The 301, the Devotion, the 3030, the EVA 8, and the Prowler are now the gold weapons that you can find on the map. And then here's one thing, okay? The devs, someone in the devs listens to this fucking show. Joe Cupcake. For sure. They listen to this fucking show because the Anvil receiver is back. The fucking Anvil receiver is back. If you're new to Apex, you don't know what the Anvil receiver is. The Anvil receiver is a hop-up that goes on the R301 and on the flatline. And when you switch those guns to single fire, it slows the rate of fire, but greatly increases the single shot damage.
And specifically headshot damage, right?
It's huge. Yeah, it does a ton of fucking damage. Someone listens to this fucking show. I don't know who you are, but what's up?
Especially after the next point with the other hop-ups. They definitely listen to the show and your ideas.
Yes. The double tap trigger is now a legendary. It's not gold. It's not purple anymore. It's now golden. And they improved the recoil for the scout so that it's not just like flip-flopping everywhere. A turbocharger, like Joel mentioned earlier, turbocharger is still there, but they reduce the damage when you equip. So say, okay, I don't remember how much damage the Havoc does, but Havoc does, let's just say 20, right? Yeah. When you put the turbocharger on the Havoc, and now does 19 damage. So I guess to make it a little bit more, like, I think the point of doing this is twofold. One, so people have an incentive to use those guns without the turbocharger, right? And number two, to make the full blast not so strong. So I think that's why they did it like that.
Well, also it's weird though that it only is the Havoc and not the Devo. I don't get it.
No, it's both.
It is both?
It's both.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I'll retract my previous statement.
And then, like Joel said, someone listened to this fucking show. The hammer points, the boosted loader, and the kinetic feeder are gone. They are not on the map anymore. They cleaned up the loop pool and threw in a new one. Took 3 off the map and put 1 new one in to clean up the loop pool. This is what I was saying, dude. Put him in the fucking replicator. Put him in the replicator.
Or get rid of him. Which is what they did.
Yeah. Or get rid of them, and they did. So yeah, huge changes to right there. Let's see here.
I will say though. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. You're not the people that care. Mozambique still hits.
Mozambique is still a great gun.
Dude, I've done a couple Maggie games where I get purple bolt 2 times on the beak, and then an Evo with a digi. Man, that beak is like. I don't know if they like silently buffed the damage or something, but I still find the beak highly efficient.
You good?
Efficient at medium range. I am now after that little.
Dude, like people don't realize that the beak, number one, first and foremost, this is the most unknown thing about the beak. It's full auto. You hold the trigger down, it keeps shooting. You don't have to shoot it like a regular, like the other shotguns, or like the Peacekeeper or the Mastiff, right? You pull the trigger down, it just keeps shooting, right? Number one. Number two, when you ADS, it has a built-in choke. It has a built-in choke. Number three, each pellet does 15 damage. So if you hit all three, that's 45 damage. That's huge. That's a lot of fucking damage. That's a wingman shot. So, anyways, quality of life updates. They made it so that when you grab the Rampage off the care package, it's already charged up. You don't have to use a thermite to charge it up.
Freeze frame.
What?
Well, I don't know if it's unintentionally doing this. The charge does not start decreasing until you pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
So it is actually like it just doubled in its value because not only does it come charged, but it doesn't lose the charge until you pull the trigger.
Joe,
man, I think that's insane.
I'm gonna make this joke. Are you ready for this? I'm cum charged. So anyway, the Rampage and the Sentinel, now when you charge them up, with the thermite or with the shield cells, you used to have to wait for the charge to run out, but now you can charge halfway through, right? You're like, oh, I'm about to run out. I'm going to charge it right now instead of waiting for it to actually run out, which is a quality of life update. The a couple other changes to a lot of guns. Most notable is the triple take. They increased the rate of fire, which is good. And then they choke charge time has been reduced from 1.1 seconds to 0.75 seconds. So when you charge it and it does the choke, it's faster. And then the other one notable is the R99. They increased the magazine size by 1 for the blue and the purple magazine. So now instead of 27 in the purple, it does 28, which is huge. And the biggest, I would say the biggest change to the game just in general is ring 1 pre-shrink time has increased from 60 seconds up to 90 seconds. Not the full, 3 minutes that it was before.
It was, was it 3 or 2? I think it was 3.
It was something. Right. It was something.
I think you're right. I think it's
3 minutes. It's now half that, 90 seconds. So it's not as fast as it used to be, but it's not as slow as it used to be. So I think it's a nice, healthy medium. Personally, I thought it was too fast. At 60 seconds.
Did too.
Yeah.
I did too. I don't mind the double damage. I think we did an episode on this, didn't we, Cal?
We did.
Yeah, I don't mind the damage tick because I hate people that storm camp or ring camp or whatever you want to call it. I hate that. I think that's bullshit. I understand that this is BR and you have to get kills, but I think that's whack. So I love the double damage, but I do agree. We had a minute or 30 seconds to get loot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just ludicrous. So
yeah, it was too fast, and especially for these big maps, Storm Point and now Broken Moon. You're like, oh, okay, I landed, and just for by random chance, I am now on the far side of the map, and now I have to fucking run forever to get in now, and I don't have a gun, and I'm running into a group of people who just so happened to land on the edge of the circle with a full base, and they're fully looted, and now I'm running right into them. So yeah, I think it's a good change.
I agree.
That's everything.
Yeah. I mean, I made a comment in our group chat, Calvin, to the guys, and this is still the old devs, not the new devs. But in my brain, it's so the game is in a great place gun balance wise, right? I love the loot selection. I think them cleaning up the hop ups like we suggested. No one else suggested that. Fuck the other shows. Don't care who else came up with that idea. We said it first. Calvin said it first. I hear Calvin is Apex. You can send the checks to me, but address them to him. It's fine.
That's fine.
So that happened. But what the fuck, dude? Overwatch just came out. Blizzard, especially after the merger with Activision and everything else, has so much goddamn they're still paying people to play that game. It is still getting insane stream numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was built fairly well as well. I won't harp. You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Yeah,
Game
sure,
looks
sure.
great. I mean, it's the most optimized shooter. I would argue that the game looks better than Fortnite. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And has lower system requirements too, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be wrong about that. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Overwatch is out. Modern Warfare 2 is out. They're about to drop Warzone 2, and in Warzone 2, they're cornering another market because they're doing DMZ, which is like the Escape from Tarkov
Mm-hmm.
or Hunt type survival and escapes, like
Yeah.
PvP battle royale style, whatever you want to call it. And so it's like all you did is add a new character.
Mm-hmm.
No meta changes. You did
Mm-hmm.
not fix rank. Like I understand not doing a lot of changes with like the guns and the legend and stuff like that.
Sure.
Okay. I guess I see it because we all know Seer's heirloom's going to come out and then they're going to nerf him to oblivion. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much been common knowledge, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. That makes sense. But how you don't fix ranked, like on the cusp of a new ALGS season with the biggest prize pool, you have the most eyes on ALGS and on this game. We're like, I mean, there are like industry experts that are like Apex is like one or two good worldwide tournaments away from being like a major international esport. Like it already
Right.
is,
Right.
but it's like up there with being like in the top. You know, it's getting
Right.
close. And I just don't understand how like is it EA or is it Respawn at this point in time, Calvin? I don't get it. Like this is the shortest patch
Oh my
note
God.
episode we've ever done. You
That's
know
true.
what I mean? And it's also the shortest patch notes I think the game has ever put out. Like I'm not saying that Warzone's gonna kill Apex. Like this game is here to stay. They're making $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People love it. The press is there. The pros love it. I mean, dude, Snipe Down has a wonderful story. If you're going to look into a pro to follow, he is one of the best, I think, as far as like being an actual person wise goes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And his trajectory and his story coming up through Halo, he left Apex to take a huge contract with FaZe Clan to sign to Halo to play Halo professionally. He didn't even last a year. He fucking left to come back because it's the way you play Apex and the thrill of the win. Like the game is so set up, but like you did nothing. You didn't fix, like, I understand that we're probably never going to get a skill-based matchmaking fix. Okay, cool. We're never going to get a server fix. Okay, cool. Probably never going to get an audio fix unless my theory from the last episode is like they're working around it with like the new animations and sounds is correct. We're never going to get that. Okay, cool. At least fixed ranked if you can't fix skill-based matchmaking.
Right.
Like, because the people that are bringing the eyes to your product, now, regardless of how the casuals feel about it, because we need the game to do good as casuals.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how the longevity is here.
Yeah.
So it's like they just, I don't know if this was like this season where it's like this is the shift with all the people leaving, and like next season is just gonna be fucking balls to the wall.
Right.
But you already have the imminent, like, are they bringing back Kings Canyon or are they bringing back Stormpoint next season? Either way, half the fan base is going to be fucking raging pissed.
Right.
So, but the next season better pop off, or it's going to be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you know,
I mean, that's just my opinion. How do you feel, Cal? Like, I don't know.
So my thing is like you said, Apex is, you know, it's settled. It's here. People aren't gonna not play the game. And I feel like the only reason why people won't play Apex is if something really bad happens. You know, like they really mess something up. And I just don't foresee that happening. The issue seems like it could be an easy fix, and I think the reason why this, because for some season 14 felt really fast. Season 14 felt like it just came and left, right?
I agree.
And now if you look at the dashboard on Apex, it's like next season is 100-something days away, and I think the reason for that is not just because of holidays, but because like it's probably mostly because of holidays, but I think the reason they put a little bit of extra time on that is because I'm hoping that they are going to do something, not I want to say big, but some good improvements come February. And I think the easiest thing that, like you said, that they could do is fix ranked. And the only thing that they can do to fix rank that would actually make sense and actually wouldn't be too hard is stop letting predators play with everybody below masters or everybody even like maybe diamond. Maybe don't let predators play with people below diamond.
Because it used to be what diamond 1 was the cutoff, right? Like you would play if you were diamond 1, you would sometimes play a pred.
Well, no, any diamond because diamonds could always play with masters, and masters can play with preds. So
well, yeah, obviously,
yeah, and so like that makes sense, right? If you get to diamond, right, you should be able to hold your own against a predator, right?
Yeah.
So like, just fix that. Just fix that. And I know like sometimes it might be hard to I guess. No, actually, no, it wouldn't even be hard to code it, dude. Like I know coding. It's not hard. Just take them out of these lower levels. Platinum players should not play with predators. Gold players should not play with predators at all. Ever. Gold or below should never play with predator. Like there's so much that you can do to appease the pros, right?
Yeah.
You could break the game and the pros will never be happy. Right. I'm not going to go on fuck the pro rant like I always do, but fuck them. But number one, like there's so many things that you can do that they'll want, but then there's going to be something else that they want. Casual people just want to be able to play the game and not get fucking stomped all the time. All the time. If you play ranked, you're asking for it, right? But even casuals, you don't want to get stomped all the time. All the time. So just fix it. It can't be hard. I'm just saying, I don't know. I know how to code.
Well, and it's like, you know how to code, and it's like, okay, they can go in and they can fix the ring closing locations, right?
Sure.
They can fix every month and a half the like how the loot spawns in the game, right?
Yeah.
They can go in and fix the skill-based matchmaking. Like it's like one or the other, fixed rank or fixed pubs. But like either way, something's got to give because it's like I mean, literally, like I'm playing like everybody when Calvin was gone. I did that episode with Kodiaks, right? We're all good friends with Cody. Cody is hands down like maybe not the most skilled player I play with, but he's hands down the most like aggressive. Like I trust him to win a 3v1 more than almost anybody else I physically play the game with.
He's very good.
He's very good. But even he was like, I'm having more fun playing ranked. Normally, he's always just been the pub guy. He's like, dude, pubs is like, he doesn't, he's a very positive person. He trolls a lot, but like, he doesn't like I get too negative when I game sometimes. It's a flaw I have and I'm aware of it. But even Cody has been mentioning like, pubs aren't fun. It's too sweaty.
Yeah.
It is like it cannot be that hard for you to just do skill-based matchmaking based off KD. Because my KD is still
something, dude.
My KD is still under a 1. I should not be playing against people whose KD is like 3 or higher. I'm sorry, I just shouldn't.
So like there's some diversity in that though, right? Because like even like the old Call of Duty days, right? You play with people who were just insanely good and you play with people who are really, really bad, right? But there was never any time where you just went on a streak of losing over and over and over and over and over. Yeah. And there's something to that. And I think it's like the whole BR perspective where all of it's random chance, right? The whole thing is supposed to be random chance, right? Yeah. But I think I think BRs have gotten to a point where it's not random chance people anymore. It's not. And it's because people have learned the game and people have learned how to play BRs. It's not foreign anymore. Yeah. It's not the H1Z1s. It's not the PUBGs anymore. But yes, I agree. And I think the community feels the same. Something needs to change to bring the game back into a positive light, because right now a lot of people are getting upset about it because it's just too fucking hard.
Well, I think, and again, not to bring up the pros, like, if anybody that pays attention to ALGS, Sweet Dreams 1, whatever, he is considered to be the best IGL, which is in-game leader, the person that makes the calls for your teams, for those of you that are casual and don't pay attention to ALGS. Sweet is considered not necessarily the best kill person. He's the best IGL in the world. He's considered that pretty much by everybody, almost unanimously in the pro scene. He said he played for, I think he tweeted this morning, he played for 6 hours yesterday outside of ALGS. So they did their ALGS placement and then he still played the game for 6 hours. He won one fucking game.
Wow.
For some dude who like makes probably millions of dollars playing Apex, for the skill-based matchmaking and for everything to be that wonky, that his randoms are that bad that he can win one fucking game in a 6 hour time frame. That's not fun.
Right.
Like, we love this game. Calvin and I love this game.
Yeah.
This game is fun. I love Apex, even no matter how challenging it gets. But like, one win all day.
Fuck, you've been waiting for that.
I have been waiting for that.
You've been waiting.
I really hope everybody. Don't explain what happened, Calvin. Just, you have to watch the show on YouTube.
My God. Anyways,
I've been fucking waiting for you, Calvin.
Sorry for the delay in episodes. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we've been really busy. But we're gonna try to crank out another one later on this week, just to
Yes,
fill the gaps in there. But Joe Cupcake, before we go, real quick, no, don't fucking talk forever. I need your Motherload music album of the week.
Oh, holy fuck! You go first. I wasn't ready for that. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Fuck
okay,
you,
tell me.
Fuck you, Calvin. Fuck you.
Fuck me.
My good friends from over the pond from the UK, Ingested. They're considered one of the pioneers of slam death metal. They released a just straight up metal ripper of an album, literally on Friday, called Ashes Lie Still. It's out on Metal Blade. Great dudes, great music. They fucking perfect blend if you like OG death metal, but you like your heavy parts, like if it's incredible album. Nicest dudes I know. They're my favorite foreigners.
Love it.
What about you, Kaka? What do you got?
My
for this?
Motherload music album of the week is a Shift. It is the Mad Villainy album featuring Mad Villain, MF Doom, and Madlib. Threw it on this week just because I saw a TikTok about MF Doom and I was like, I haven't listened to MF Doom in a really long time. And then I was going through his discography and then I came on this album and I was like, this is a great album. So yes, check out Mad Villainy. Solid album.
Love it.
All
Love
right.
it. Yeah. Only other thing I gotta say is shout out to I'm wearing a new hat today. If you're a nerd, you're probably a large person. Let's just put it that way. I'm a large guy. I can never find hats that fit. Found this company, Mammoth Headwear. If you're a large man and you're listening to this show and you hate that you can't find hats, check them out on Instagram because it's just made my life easier. Like, my head doesn't fucking hurt wearing this hat, Calvin.
I love that. And
being plus size is difficult. Okay, never mind.
Oh my God.
Out. Beak,
oh my God.
6 feet deep.